back-to-back weeks, winning Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week, the first time ever an ASU athlete accomplished that. And then Skylar Fields, she spent her first 3 seasons at Texas, then transferred to USC last year, and of course she's on the Pac-12 All-Conference team last year, as well as a 3-time Big 12 All-Conference team member. And both of these players, anytime their team is in a jam, they are the ones that get them out of that jam.
But beyond the court, we look at the sidelines, and there's even more of an interesting connection as J.J. Van Niel, the head coach for the Arizona Sun Devils, spent the last 4 seasons as the associate head coach for the Trojans. I mean, he's got to have some emotions here tonight.
I talked to both of them, both Brad and JJ, before the match, and they said that tonight was going to be emotional for them because, after all, they are brothers. They came into USC during the 2020. That was one of the hardest times for the entire country. So they battled through that tough time, and look at them now. They are both the head coach of 2 of the best teams in the entire country. Of course, ASU, the 23rd team in the nation, and USC, they are right outside of that top 25. So it'll be a beautiful night to see these 2 coaches who have spent so much time together, now on opposing sides, but I think it's just going to make it that much more fun as well.
Absolutely. So many battles to look forward to in this matchup. ASU 15-1 overall. They had some struggles in the Bay Area last weekend, but they faced their first fifth set matchup against Cal. They rebounded nicely against the Golden Bears after getting swept by Stanford. What'd you see in that bounce back?
Now, Jonah, the fact that you just said the first 5-setter for ASU, that's enough to just shock me, because last season, I think ASU almost had every single match go to 5 sets. It shows you how ASU has been so dominant, but it also shows the grit that they possess. They really, this entire season, they didn't have their backs against the wall. In that match, they did have their backs against the wall. Now, usually Cal isn't the most dominant in the pack. This season is different. They brought in some young blood that has really been helping them, not only along the net, but back row as well. But ASU, they put their heads down in that 5th set. And also just incredible coaching by J.J. Van Niel. The schemes he was running, Shannon Shields, I can't say enough about her. You're going to be hearing her name all night long, of course, because she's running the 5-1 for ASU. Absolutely phenomenal job by her and her team as well.
But then if you look at the Trojan side, I mean, 10-4 overall, but that really doesn't tell you the whole story, because they started off their season with 2 straight losses, but here they are on a 9-match win streak, the longest under Brad Keller, and they are red hot as well. So this is going to be a fun one. 2 very evenly matched competitive squads going up against each other.
And anytime you have USC here in Desert Financial, it is going to bring bodies into this arena. And this is the first time that ASU Volleyball is playing in Desert Financial this entire season. So I know the fans are ready for a Pac-12 battle tonight.
Yeah, they started off their home opener at Mullet Arena across the street. But here at Desert Financial Arena, a good crowd on hand to support the Sun Devils. But they are up against the wall as the Trojans have won the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams. As you look at the all-time series, USC leads 75-14-1. They're 9-1 on the last 10 matchups. So ASU, under a new regime, trying to change that. And Marta Levinksa, their star performer at the pin, is ready to go. Free balled over by Tuaninga. A tip by Cyr. Fields recovers. Overpass. Back to Skylar. Off speed, and it goes outside. Sun Devils get the first point.
Heading into the game, Brad Keller said that one of his team's biggest keys is taking care of the serve-receive ball. Right there, they were unable to. That's why it resulted in an ASU point.
A little discombobulated. The Sun Devils were able to take advantage. A back set. Nice recovery by Schroll in the back row. To Fields. Cyr will have to free ball, and she gets it to go. Catching them off guard in the back.
That right there showcases ASU's gritty mindset on defense. They are not going to let a ball drop. They might have to kick it, do whatever, but that ball will not hit the floor.
Hey, whatever works. A point is a point, right, Sammy?
Of course.
It's received by Snook. Sneer got a hand on it, but Nice tool over there by Lewis Lindsay Miller.
ASU should be expecting a lot of middle action from the USC side. Lindsay Miller is one of the most dynamic middles in the entire country.
Senior middle blocker, transfer from Notre Dame, leads the team in hitting percentage, 343. And a quick one. And Jeter is right there for the point.
Just like USC has dynamic middles, ASU does as well. Claire Jeter. For me, my key to the game is you need to get the middles going. Maddie McLaughlin and Claire Jeter can go lights out if they're given that opportunity to do so.
So ASU with a 3-1 early lead here in this first set. Jonah Crow with Sammy Miller and Alexis Davis. Tip just falls short right there from Tyra Ariel. And again, Trojans starting off a little sloppy here, Sammy.
That was a tough set. It looked like it was a little too far off the net for the middles. You usually like it when that ball is closer to the net.
We said it at the beginning, serve receive would be so huge in this matchup. To Aninga, to Fields, and swatted down. Claire Jeter with the block.
As a middle blocker, you are always taught to eliminate any seam. Right there was no seam whatsoever. Claire Jeter's right shoulder was touching Shannon's. That's why it basically made a wall at the net.
They're going to need that wall, a brick wall, every time Skylar Fields jumps in the air. Nice dive by Truvit. Right there was Snook. And again, Skylar Fields goes a little off speed and catches the Sun Devils off guard.
I love how Shannon Shield is already really emphasizing that she can go up there and also be an attacker. Of course, she trusts her right side, her middle, and outside, but also she can go up there and take a few swings herself.
Now Mia Tuoninga ready to go. She's got that powerful serve. Habello, but blocked down. Trojans get the point. And now we'll go over to the third member of our broadcast. It's Alexis Davis with more on the Sun Devils motto that they use so well here in this season.
Many different times. This season, the team's mantra is grit, grace, relentless, integrity, and trust. But most new coaches, when they come in, they tell their player what the program's values is going to be. But JJ Van Deel, he said he's going to let his team decide. They came up with it during a team bonding trip, and the team's goals aligned with the coaching staff's goals. And this time, it's allowed them to have their best start since 2015. Back to you, Jonah.
Thank you, Alexis. 6-3 lead for the Sun Devils now. And Marta Levinska, hello.
That was an absolutely beautiful swing from the southpaw from Latvia. Marta can get it done when she's front row and she's back row, and that back row swing has definitely been something that she's been working on in the spring and the summer heading into this season.
We were waiting to see Marta Levinska get her first kill, and she's on the board here. Fields, but again a block. That time it was Shannon Shields and Maddie McLaughlin at the front.
Now, JJ shared with us that Shannon increased her vertical by 3 inches this summer. For all those volleyball people out there, that is a lot in one summer, but that's why she's able to block that much more effectively.
Sun Devils controlling at the net early on. Fields will try again, and that time she lands it.
I mean, that set was absolute butter. It comes out of Mia's hands so fast out to Skylar, and it just shows that connection is so strong because when you're setting with that fastest speed of a tempo, you have to make sure that you're in sync with your outside, and of course, those two are definitely in sync this season.
Tuoninga with 491 assists. That's 9th in the Pac-12. Little slow goings for her, but she had 45 in the last matchup against Colorado. That was Megan Verbees with the serve and a little dump. Shannon Shields is so good at catching them off guard.
I always call that spot the campfire of the court because everyone likes to sit around the campfire. No one wants to go in, which makes it so easy for balls to go straight down.
Well, I mean, it is a little hot, especially here in the desert.
It still is, Jonah. When is it going to cool down?
I don't blame them. And now Shields with the line drive. Tuoninga, a quick one. And that time it gets down. That was Kalia Williams.
That is the exact set that she needs every single time. It barely comes out of Mia's hands, and she's already on it, which just makes it that much more difficult for Maddie and Claire to get up there and block it.
That was Ariel Tyra Ariel with the kill. And now Shields. Miller with the tip. And Cyr. And that'll be long from Caitlin Smith off the bench.
For Smith on that play, she didn't snap her wrist, which is why it went out. So when you're hitting the ball on contact, you want to make sure you're snapping your wrist so the ball goes inside the lines instead of outside the lines.
Trojans, not even a positive hitting percentage. That they're at 0-0-0 compared to the Sun Devils 333, the best hitting percentage in the country, I might add. And now they'll try again, but again a brick wall. That is erased by Levinska and McLaughlin.
And we said coming into this match that both these teams, one of their biggest weaknesses is blocking. Right now, ASU is showing that they're having a pretty good campaign with their defense at the net as well as in the back row.
Sun Devils with 2 blocks here to start out, and they lead 11-5 here on Pac-12 Insider. Addition to middle blocker. She was an outside hitter for her first 4 years here, but now in her grad year, JJ Van Neel moves her over to that middle block position, and she's been doing well.
JJ told me that when he brought it up to his coaching staff, that he said, hey, maybe we should move Maddie to the middle. He said that his assistants looked at him like he was crazy. He said, hey, trust me, let's try it out for a week or so, see what happens. Well, Maddie was absolutely killer. He added on that he's one of the most athletic players on the entire court. So it was a no-brainer because as a middle blocker, you have to be fast, you have to be able to jump high, and you have to have good court awareness. Maddie checks all of those boxes. Also, she's one of the hardest workers that this team has ever seen. So JJ said, hey, you're going to be our middle blocker. She said, okay, I'm going to watch countless clips this summer to try to be the best possible middle that she can be, and it really is paying off.
And to be able to make that adjustment in the spring, really late goings, and McLaughlin took it head on. She ties for the team lead with 49 blocks, and she's got 2 tonight. After the timeout by USC, they look to get back under control. ASU cruising here, leading by 6. And now Habello. A nice tool right there was Ariel.
That was a fantastic approach onto the ball. She was able to get to the right side of that ball, hit that almost cross body, and use ASU's block to her advantage.
So they get the side out. And now Ellie Snook, the transfer from Portland State, sends it over. In the middle, a quick one, but blocked down by Lindsay Miller.
That set looked like it was a little low for Maddie. In the middle, you want to make sure that you're giving them a little time to get up just because it's so fast and transition is very difficult for a middle blocker.
So a couple consecutive points for the Trojans. Looking to get back under control. Cromartie receives. And a dump.
I love that choice by ASU. They're trying to be crafty. And because their defense has been so strong this season, JJ said that they have been able to be more creative because now they have more options. Now they can really utilize all 6 players on their side of the court.
That was McLaughlin with the kill. Her first of the night. Tuaninga calms it down. Over the top, it was Miller. And that time they get to him again. Miller with the block. You know, it's interesting. They lost Jordan Wilson to Arizona. She transferred over. She is their big pin hitter, and they don't really have a second Trojan to go along with Fields, but Lindsay Miller has been stepping up for them.
Brad said that in the beginning of the season, he didn't really know what to do at first. And the first few matches, he was moving a lot of people around. Now he feels like they're starting to get into their groove.
An overpass and right to me. I caught that somehow.
Beautiful catch, Jonah. That was textbook.
Wow. All righty. Well,
keeping on your toes.
Always stay ready as we're sideline here, right by the court. And it was Skylar Fields with the kill. Tip from Jeter. Again, some Trojans colliding. Fields collects. Now Snook back to Fields. A power drive, and it's long. Point goes to the Sun Devils.
I love how USC added in Ellie Snook. Being a grad student from Portland State, it just adds so much veteran experience to this team because USC is pretty young. Yes, of course, they're balanced, but they have a lot of young blood. So a person like Ellie can really insert that much needed necessary knowledge.
Now Levinska serves. Fields again will try. And Shannon Shields, hello, in the back row all the way from the tip. How about that?
And Mary Schroll with the fantastic scoop defense. So scoop defense is when you're staying put on contact and all you have to do is scoop your arms up. When you have a hitter like Skylar, scoop defense is definitely the way to go.
Shields now with 40 kills on the season. To Cyr. They can't come up with it there. That's a point to the Trojans.
I love the aggression, though, from Geli. That was a very sharp angle. She did wrist away on that shot. So if you're JJ, those are the type of errors that you are okay with seeing.
Must have just went wide on that right side. Very close. USC staying within 4. Schroll receives. And a nice one right there from Claire Jeter. Ready to go, as always, in the middle.
That is a perfect example. It all starts with a pass. That was a fantastic serve by Lindsay Miller, but Mary said, hey, I'm going to make it look easy. Then Shannon is able to set the middle on that type of play.
Just so good with the quick sets. Great relationship with Claire Jeter. A 1-2 punch. Speaking of a punch, there's Skylar Fields, as usual.
On that play, I want to see Claire lean into that block a little more. That right shoulder should really be leaning in to Skylar's left shoulder to create that wall that we saw a few points ago.
Skylar Fields now with 4 kills, but has struggled with 13 total attempts, and that's long from Tuaninga. Another sloppy error from the Trojans here early on. That's their first service error. They also have 6 attack errors on the night. Now Jeter. All the way across Fields. Nice recovery from Cyr in the back. Trubin, a bump set. And there it is. Down it goes from Kalia Williams.
That was a fantastic set by Trubin. As a libero, you always want to make sure that ball is off the net for your attacker. And as a libero, being able to take that second ball with power is very effective.
Again, USC staying within 4. Can they cut the deficit and make this closer here in the first? Fields sends it. And again, Shannon Shields so good with the quick sets. And McLaughlin is right there for the kill.
I love Maddie on that gap. So a gap in the middle is a little farther away than a 1, and it almost acts like an outside hit, which is what Maddie has been playing all of her life. So I love that choice from Shannon.
And Shields sends it to Aninga. Back set. What a recovery from Schroll coming from the back. But that attempt from Habello is wide, and the Trojans take it.
In order to win this match tonight, it's going to be which team wins the serve and pass battle. Right now, it's ASU, and that's why they're in the lead. And for USC, you have to start decreasing those errors.
Just hitting 77%. Out of system, Habello brings it back in. Tip from Levinska. They got to free ball it. Williams again. And she thought it might have hit, and it does. Looks like the Trojans got that one off one of the hands, maybe McLaughlin there.
Both Brad and JJ have such an emphasis on out-of-system plays, which shows tonight how both teams are very effective with those out-of-system plays.
Gala Trubin, the sophomore libero. Now from the back, Cyr. What a recovery from Trubin on the overpass. Levinska is right there. She says, I'll pick up the leftovers.
Levinska did a fantastic job of waiting and then attacking. When you're getting that overpass, you always want to make sure that you wait, take a quick 1-2, and pop it over. Fantastic discipline by Levinska on that play.
A little bit of a quiet first set from Marta, but she's taken her opportunities when they've come to her. Now Trojan, and a little tip right there from Smith. And again, just a little out of whack, the Trojans are, but somehow they got the point right there.
I love Caitlin's decision on that play to just tip the ball over. She saw that strong block in front of her, so sometimes all it takes is a nice little tip over the net to put a point on the board.
Sun Devils had the wall ready, but Smith was ready too. And now Snook with the serve. Can they get it over? McLaughlin free balls it. Shields with the one-hand stab. And Cyr hits the antenna, and the Trojans get the point. Within two now.
I really like Caitlin's discipline of making sure that she knows what she's doing on those plays.
So now the Trojans get within two, and a timeout by ASU. 18-16, Sun Devils lead it here on Pac-12 Insider. Late in the first set, back here at Desert Financial Arena, Jonah Krell with Sammy Miller and Alexis Davis. And Skylar Fields, of course, the talk of the town coming into this one, but with 4 kills, only hitting an even hitting percentage. The Sun Devils defense has shown up today, Sammy.
It has been incredible, especially Mary Schroll right there with that beautiful serve receive pass.
Right on cue. But Fields right there. Oh my goodness, it hit one of the line judges. That's how powerful the play was.
I love how Brad is now keeping Skylar back row. As an outside hitter, it's hard when you have a defensive specialist come in. It kind of takes you out of your groove because then you're on the sidelines. So I'm expecting her to play all 6 rotations for the remainder of this match.
Trojans on a little bit of a run within one. Cyr puts a stop to it. A missile off the right-handed swing.
That is the exact set that Geli needs. That ball shot out of Shannon's hands so fast, and it was pretty low, which makes it way harder for USC's blockers to get there in time and put up a solid block.
That's Cyr's second kill of the day. And now Schroll with a line drive. A back set. Nicely recovered by the Sun Devils. Levinska. Good job by Snook. Trojan recovers. And does that count? It does. It looked like Tuaninga reached way over, but, I mean, they count it.
That's one thing that Brad Keller loves about Mia is she is so smart. She has such a high level of volleyball IQ out there, and it really showcases, especially in that setter role, which I always like to say is really the captain on the court.
And that one was just long from the serve. That was Caitlin Smith, the 3rd service error by the Trojans early on. Serve receive, one of the biggest keys here. Trojans just a little bit sloppy. Back to Fields. Good recovery from Cyr. And Levinska from the back. They tool it.
Amazing job by Levinska of waiting. When you're hitting a ball back row, you want to make sure that that ball is right above your shoulder before you go up and attack.
Now ASU ahead by 3, and we'll go to another break here on Pac-12 Insider. You see there on your screen, that's Marta Levinksa. We thought we were going to get a star-studded performance between the two pin hitters, Levinska and Fields, but Levinska only 3 kills and Fields only 5 on 16 total attempts. It's been an interesting way that both sides are getting it done. And now Levinska with the serve. In the middle, what a great recovery from Cromartie. Off the slide, they get it over. To Fields, a tip. Levinska. And they can't get to it, Trubin. The pancake dig is late. And again, showing that grit, showing that hustle, and the effort was there.
I cannot say enough about Shania. She came in and she told JJ, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get time on this court. If it's a defensive specialist or it's an outside hitter, she's doing a fantastic job tonight.
That time a tip. Schroll with the dig. Fields trying to get over the wall, but no. I mean, she is having major troubles over there on that left side.
I do love how she looked at Mia and she said that was a good set. So I think for Skylar, she obviously wants to remain aggressive, but she's doing a very crossbody approach. So maybe take a little bit off of that and get it in the court to get a little more rhythm.
That's Danny Thomas Nathan now in the game. She received it, and right there an easy hole, and Fields takes advantage. And that breaks the Sun Devil 4-0 scoring run.
And with Ariel coming back up in the middle spot, I want to see Mia really utilize her. She can go in the 1, the 3, the slide, the gap. She can really do it all.
Now Miller sends it. Cyr. What a great job by Fields to get it over. Another dive from Miller. And there a violation, 2-hand touch from Tyra Ariel. Again, another sloppy mistake from the Trojans. Set point now.
For ASU, all you have to focus on is a pass, a set, and a hit. Don't get too far ahead of yourselves. Really stay in this moment.
Geli Cyr with the serve. Fields, cross court, and the pancake dig just late from Schroll.
On that ball, because Skylar has been hitting that crossbody, a very direct shot, that's why she was a little back. So maybe take a little bit of a step up on that play.
That's now Skylar Fields' 7th kill. And to Aninga. A quick tip. And right there, Fields was ready again. Nothing's getting past her.
That's a hard play. That set was very close to the net, so it didn't really allow them to do a lot with it. And also, it doesn't help that USC made a wall at the net.
Absolutely. Now within 3. Shields, a back set. Jeter with the slide, and she's got it.
Like I always say, it comes down to that pass. That was a perfect textbook serve-receive ball, and that allows Shannon to run their offensive schemes.
So the Sun Devils take the first set 25-21, and we'll be right back for number 2 here on Pac-12 Insider. Back inside Desert Financial Arena, Jonah Krell here with Sammy Miller. The Sun Devils took set number 1, 25-21. Sammy, what'd you see from the Sun Devils?
Jonah, it was all about the defense. Mary Schroll has been lights out. JJ Van Niel said coming into this game, it was going to be a serve and pass battle. Right now, the Sun Devils are succeeding by far against the Trojans because it all comes down to a pass. In order for Shannon Shields to run their offense, you have to have a solid pass. And speaking of Shannon Shields, she has been running this offense so effectively.
Absolutely, and they've been stopping Skylar Fields as well. She's only hitting 100 with her hitting percentage. Overall, the Trojans just hitting 143. So ASU, the defense, has been on true lockdown. Before we get too much into this one, let's take a look back at the Sun Devils win against Cal last weekend with our sideline reporter, Alexis Davis.
Yeah, Jonah, last time the Sun Devils suited up, they were against Cal, and Shannon Shields and Marta Levinksa, they both are actually left-handed, and only 12% of Americans are left-handed. This left-handed duo, they had the team high, Shannon with 54 assists, Marta with 30 kills, and it was also career highs for both. They switched roles this time around, actually, with Shields with 9 assists and Levinska having 3 kills as they lead the team, and they're hoping to continue to be leaders for not only themselves but for their team to follow. Back to you, Jonah.
Thanks, Alexis. Yeah, 4 career highs set in that win against Cal. The first fifth set win of the season. Schroll with the dive. And a dump over by Tuaninga right there off the hands of Jeter, but she just couldn't corral that one.
It's so hard for the Sun Devils defenders to be able to decide if Mia's going to set the ball or dump it because she goes up with both hands and then decides at that very last second to either dump the ball or set it out to one of her teammates.
The Sun Devils were really solid at the net in the first set. It'll be a challenge if they can continue that one. Now they set up Cyr with the tip. All the way on the other side, Fields gets it just past the wall of Shields.
That was a great job by Fields of using the hands to her advantage. She went high off of those hands, and that's why that ball trickled off.
That's now Skylar Fields' 8th kill of the night. And Lindsay Miller, senior middle blocker, with the serve. Cromartie receives a quick one from Jeter, but not enough on that one to get it past Skylar Fields.
This might be one of Shania's best passing games I have seen her play. She has been so incredible and a huge get from Mississippi State. Once again, she's bringing that veteran experience that the Sun Devils need in the back row.
Jeter actually got it past Fields, 2-all here in the second set. Fields. Habello with the dig. Levinska, can she get going? And she puts it down there.
That cross body shot is her bread and butter. Of course, she can hit the line, but that cross body will always be her go-to because, after all, she is a lefty.
And she was playing all on the left side. She then makes the adjustment to the right. Trubin trying to get it back in system. Fields and Cyr's dive comes up short.
The fact that Skylar was able to go in on such a ball that was off the net and somehow maneuver her body, maneuver those hips around, and get to that straight body shot, absolutely incredible.
I mean, that was just a great job by Trubin just to get it all the way over to Fields. Now to Aninga, a line drive. Habello, she wants it back, but it was blocked down by Ariel. She'll try again, and she'll put it down.
Roberta Habello bringing that Brazilian heat. I absolutely love when Roberta gets fired up because it brings that energy that the Sun Devils need if it's the first point of the match or the last point of the match.
And she was determined to get that one past the wall. And at first you don't succeed, try again. And again, a powerful kill right there. That was Kalia Williams.
Absolutely phenomenal job by the middle on that play. She's able to go back in transition so fast and get that right elbow back. Absolutely slam that ball down onto the hardwood.
Check that was Tyra Ariel. Now 4-all. Shields a quick set to McLaughlin. Habello, she wants another. And she gets another. Just too much for Tuaninga to handle right there at the net.
That play really shows off Habello's skill and that high-level volleyball IQ. She was up there mid-air. She had to make the choice if she wanted to go in for the full swing or take a tip. That tip was definitely the right choice, given that she had two huge blockers in front of her.
Now Shields with the serve. All the way out of system, off the hands of Verbeest, and a free ball from Ariel. Levinska, another cross-court kill, but Tuaninga sends it over just barely. She's got it that time, though. Levinska starting to get going here in the second set, Sammy.
If you're a Sun Devil fan, this is exactly what you want to see. If Marta Levinksa gets hot, then good things are going to be coming because once she's in rhythm, it's hard to get her out of rhythm.
In her last match against Cal, a career-high 30 kills, tied the ASU rally scoring record for kills in a match. Well, there's a kill right there. Tyra Ariel starting to get going now here in the second set as well. Ariel's got her third kill right there.
She might have one of the fastest arms I've ever seen. The fact that she's able to get that arm back so fast and then rip it, that's what it takes to be a high-level middle blocker.
Trubin with the serve. Habello again. Brazilian bullet.
The thing about Habello is her time at ASU, she's had a lot of time on the court, but also a lot of time on the sidelines. And I think that's really shaped the person that she is today because she knows that when she does have time on the court, she wants to contribute as much as she humanly can to this team.
She came off the bench for her first 2 seasons, but she's given the opportunity here. That's Jillian Neal, the freshman, with the serve. Another attack error from Caitlin Smith. It's just not her night so far. And Jillian Neal once again is back. Neal made her collegiate debut in the third set against Cal last weekend. And they're relying on the freshman from San Diego here again. A good serve out of system they go. All the way over to Fields. Actually, that was Williams. Levinska in the back. Precise precision right there on the kill in the back row. Wow.
I spoke to Jillian Neal before the season started, and she said, first, how happy she is to be a Sun Devil, to be a part of the tradition that is ASU volleyball. But second, that she wants to make an impact right away as a freshman, which she's doing so against a very talented USC team.
Some nasty serves from Neal. Now Trubin. Williams, Neal in the back. McLaughlin with the free ball. Play continues. And Shields just couldn't come up with that one. Too much power off the hands from Williams.
I love the choice to go back because ASU was out of system on that play. They had girls diving on the floor. Their block wasn't set, which basically allowed Kalia to have a wide open net to do exactly what she wanted to do with that ball.
Yeah, Williams now with 4 kills on the night. She had 10 in her last match against Colorado. Shields all the way over to Cyr, a tip. And Smith finds the campfire. Cyr just couldn't get to it.
And the interesting thing about Smith is that her sister, her twin sister, plays beach volleyball at UCLA. And if you know anything about college athletics, USC and UCLA aren't exactly best friends. So it has to create for a very fun family dynamic in the Smith household.
Trojans now within 2. An overpass off the hands of Trubin. It was. That was swatted down.
I love that combo, Jonah. That combo is incredible. Caitlin Smith, growing up, used to play middle blocker at T Street. So the fact that she's now on the pin, she's able to take those blocking abilities that she learned growing up as a middle and now translating it over to the pin side.
It was Miller and Smith assisting on the block. Schroll. And way too wide from Cyr. An attack error here. And we saw with that block, Sammy, the Trojans are starting to get organized at the net, and blocking was something that they've struggled with going into this match.
It seemed like in that first set, it was a little bit of jitters. They were kind of all over the place. Now they're understanding ASU's system more, and they're starting to kind of calm down a little bit more.
Looking a lot more clean. Free ball right there from Smith, but couldn't get it over. Back in play. Sun Devils retake the lead. That broke a Trojan 4-0 scoring run. They were getting going.
So you can also be a little tighter.
And now Mary Schroll is back ready to go. Cyr with the swat. Trojans recover. Shields and Cyr with a dive, but couldn't get to it.
It's so hard for Geli because when that ball gets set to the outside, she becomes the off blocker, which means, of course, they're not going to put 3 people on the block. So she transitions off to about that 10-foot line. So she has to get those tips, but also try to get back in transition to also hit herself.
Cromartie with an overpass, and that's unfortunate for Shania right there. Went really low and just unfortunate.
Caitlin on that serve. That ball goes so low and very fast over the net. It makes it very hard for the passers on serve receive.
That was Lindsay Miller's kill. Marty much better that time. Levinska over the top. And that one was just down. Pancake dig was a little late. And Levinska with another kill. And that's her 7th.
That ball was high out to the right side, which is exactly how Marta likes it. She likes it a little high and also a little slower than the usual go that goes out to the pin.
You think she's liking this right side a little bit more?
I think she is, Jonah.
11-all here. Fields, she's been quiet so far in the second, but no one is there in the back, and she puts it down.
I mean, Fields just soars through the air. Sometimes it feels like she's never going to come down because she flies so high up, and it allows her to really hit any part of the court because she's able to see all parts of the court when she's up in the air.
Cromartie once again an overpass. Great recovery from Schroll. Cyr a try. And Snook back to Fields. Tuaninga and Williams got a piece on it, but a tip successful from Cyr right there.
After their loss against Stanford, one thing that they really have been emphasizing in practice is to make sure when there are out-of-system plays to, in a way, try to make them in system by being relaxed on defense and just trying to get a ball that one of their hitters can put over the net.
Tuaninga. Hobello with a high dig, and it got over. Now in the middle, Schroll comes in. That'll be a violation.
It looked like it might have been Claire that hit the net. So in volleyball, no part of your body can have contact on the net. Sometimes they allow hair to maybe get entangled, but other than that, your body cannot touch the net.
Must have been a real close one right there. So the kill goes down by Ariel. And Shields. Ariel again puts it down, but instead it goes to the Sun Devils that time.
I liked Mia's decision to go to Ariel on that play, but Ariel barely had any room to get some sort of transitional steps, which made it very hard for her to get up and try to get that approach in.
A neck and neck second, and here's Jeter. Fields again. Shields with the wall, and they get it back over. Cabello with the dig. From the back, Cyr. Dig from Tuaninga. Fields again. Off the hand of a Sun Devil, and Fields with another kill.
I know JJ wasn't happy with Claire. She tried setting it out to the pin. It's a very hard ball, especially because she was backwards and trying to do it. But those are the type of plays that you have to fine-tune because you cannot give USC's defense the opportunity to have a free ball play.
You can only do so much against Fields. She's now hitting .207 with 11 kills. Shields a back set. Levinska put down. Ariel.
That was a perfectly timed block on that. When you're having to block against a back row attack, you have to wait at least 2 to 3 seconds longer when then the ball is at the net.
That's Ariel's second block of the night. Came in with 41 on the season. Shields, Hobello, but again blocked. And that lands on the Sun Devils side. Couldn't corral it. The net game starting to show up for the Sun Devils, and you can see Cyr was a little frustrated there, Sammy.
I would like to see Shannon utilize more of the middle because it looks like the pins are starting to get a little clogged up from USC's blocks.
A little congested that is, and the Trojans lead at 15-13 after a timeout here on Pac-12 Insider. A tight set here in set number 2, a 16-13 lead for the Trojans. And this is just another matchup of two Pac-12 teams battling after it. And for more on the Conference of Champions, here's Alexis Davis.
All Right, John, and as you mentioned, it is a pretty fair matchup as we can see right now, the score being 13-16. And one of the main things that Coach J.J. Van Neal noticed about the Pac-12 is he was automatically blown away by the talent. He said he might be biased because he's been in the conference for so long, but he said you have to give credit where credit's due. He also told media that you can't have nights off. If you do take a night off, you will take a loss in the Pac-12. Back to you, Jonah.
Thanks, Alexis. It's now a 4-0 scoring run after the attack error from Levinska. What are you seeing so far from the Trojans here?
The Trojans are really cleaning up their defense. In the first set, it was all ASU defense. Now USC is really trying to pick it up a gear.
The net game is there. Schroll with the dig. To Aninga to Williams. And that is just a little bit long, and the point goes to the Sun Devils, finally breaking that scoring run.
That was exactly what ASU needed. In this play, you have to make sure that Shannon goes back and has an aggressive serve to really try to string a few plays together to get back into this set.
Down 3 now, and Shields with the serve. A quick setup, and Ariel puts it down again. Tyra Ariel starting to get going now, 5 kills. What a story Ariel's been. A redshirt sophomore, missed all of last season with an injury. And she was named to the Pac-12 all-freshman team back in 2021. It's a good sight for Brad Keller to have her back on the court. And now the Trojans lead it by 4. Levinska, can she get going? And that was a missile all the way into the stands. Brings the Sun Devils within 3 once again.
There's a reason why she was the FGCU Invitational Tournament MVP and then the Beale Street Challenge Tournament MVP in non-conference and now in the Pac-12. She has been so dominant, and I'm so happy for her because she has been a player who has trusted the process with this ASU team since she's arrived really in Tempe.
Again, another quick setup from Tuaninga. She's got her handprints over this entire second set. That was put down by Lindsay Miller. A much cleaner second set for the Trojans. And they're looking to close this one out. But as I say that, of course, announcers jinx as that one just goes a little bit wide from Megan Verbeest.
It always happens, Jonah. That ball, I did like that serve, but when you're serving, you almost want to high-five the ball to create that stop in contact on that ball. Her hand went all the way through it.
Schroll sends it, but again long. Back-to-back service errors, and that was actually the first service error of the night for the Sun Devils. So solid on the serving game so far this season and tonight.
JJ takes pride in that, and in practices, they do a lot of serving, which is reflective of tonight and the season as a whole.
Right to us, somehow Levinska got it back in system, and they got it over. A tip from Fields, and it just comes up short. What a recovery from Levinska, almost coming right at us, Sammy.
I wanted to say, hello, Marta, how are you? Let's have a conversation. Marta Levinska is so dominant on those plays. She has that will and want to get every single ball up, which is so evident with what just happened right there.
Maybe her defense is a little slept on. She sends it away. Fields. Back to Marta, off speed with a spin. Skylar, a bomb. And again, just too much right there. What can you do, right?
That almost looks like we're on some sand playing some beach volleyball. Usually in beach, you see those super sharp shots, but she's able to do it on the indoor court, and it's because of how high she jumps.
Yeah, JJ Van Neal says she goes 10-10. Ridiculous. And there's an ace right there from Lindsay Miller.
And to be a middle blocker and to be able to serve as well as Lindsay does, she has been so dominant for this team. She's currently the second on the team in aces with 15. So absolutely phenomenal job by Lindsay getting it done at the net and also back row.
First service ace of the night by either side. And that is put down hard from Claire Jeter.
Okay, Miss Claire Jeter. That might have been one of her best swings all season long. That set was right to her hands, and she said, I'm about to take advantage of this play. A huge increase in momentum for the Sun Devils.
Say it with your chest. Brings them within 4 now. Tuning a quick one. Ariel again puts it down.
I think Ariel wanted a piece of the action too, Jonah.
Yeah.
She said, okay, Claire, I see that your deck of hands. I actually want to show you some too. And being able to have that middle competition back and forth is going to be huge in the rest of this match.
Middle blocker versus middle blocker. And we don't see that much from Mia Tuaninga right into the net. So now can the Sun Devils build off of it and try to inch their way closer here in the second? It's Jeter. But again long. And another service error.
On that ball, once again, you have to make sure you're stopping on contact. I like the speed of the serve, but it had a little too much on it.
So now it's set point. Skylar Fields, it's in her court. Cyr receives, and Shannon puts it down.
That was such a smart decision by Shannon. That serve receive ball was very close to the net, so she saw that as an opportunity to take it upon herself to put that ball straight down.
Sometimes she just puts it on herself. Great serve right there from Shields. I mean, it put USC in no place.
And the fact that you were able to ace Trubant, who usually never gets aced, is a huge accomplishment.
The ace puts them within 3. 24-21, USC leads it here on Pac-12 Insider. Back after the break. Back for the last few stages of the second set. Jonah Krell with Sammy Miller and Alexis Davis. A 24-21 lead for the Trojans. Trying to close it out, but Shannon Shields currently has the serve. She just nailed a service ace, her first of the night. Can she do it again? This time Fields is there. And Ariel again. Tyra Ariel finishes off the second set. A dominant showing for the Trojans, and they take it.
I mean, Ariel right now is their hot hitter. So if you're Mia, you're going to try to find Ariel wherever she is on the court and give her that ball. I loved that decision by Keller.
The redshirt sophomore now with 7 kills on the night. We're knotted up here at Desert Financial Arena. We'll be back after the break for the third set on Pac-12 Insider. Back here at Desert Financial Arena, we're knotted up at 1-1, and before we get to the third set, we'll give you more from our sideline reporter, Alexis Davis, who has some good stuff on Skylar Fields.
USC's outside hitter, Skylar Fields, she has 12 kills tonight. And by JJ Van Neal being USC's former assistant head coach, he knows all about Fields' game. He actually recruited her, and he told the team that it's okay. She's going to have a couple of kills that make you humbly say, holy moly. But he wants his team to not get too low with the lows or too high with the highs, because with one kill, it can either be a simple kill or she demolishes the ball. Either way, they're only getting 1 point. But he also wants his team to remember that it's okay to give yourself a pat on the back when it comes to the highs and to put a little bit of confidence in your piggy bank. Back to you, Jonah.
Great stuff, Alexis. Yeah, JJ told us you just got to move on after one of those bombs from Skylar Fields. 12 kills, but she's had to do it the hard way on 32 total attempts, only hitting 188 tonight, Sammy.
And Brad told us that there are not too many athletes like Skylar Fields, though, in the entire country, because she not only flies in the air, she has really great hands, strong contacts, and when the team does get into tough situations, she has been the one to bail them out. Now, tonight, I feel like the reason why she hasn't been heating up as much as she usually does is because they're able to really utilize their other hitters like Ariel, like Kalia, like a Lindsay Miller, even a Caitlin Smith. So they have so many different places to go, and especially with ASU, their blocking has been so much better in this match compared to others, that when you have strong blocking on the outside, you definitely do want to shift things up.
Definitely. They are holding down the Pac-12 kill leader as much as they can. And now we'll get set to go for the third set. Sun Devils took the first one, 25-21, and the Trojans said, hey, we'll reverse it. They took it 25-21 in the second.
Whenever you have these two teams battling, you know it's not going to be an easy, clean sweep. It never is. Last season, USC did take both matches, winning in 4, but this ASU team is a completely different squad than last year. Of course, because of the coaching staff coming in, but also the players. They are so bought into the process that JJ has established here, and he said how proud he is of this team, because every single time they enter the gym, they always have those certain things they want to work on, and they focus on being intentional, which is one of the biggest parts in the culture they want to build here at ASU.
And they'll try to bounce back with Marta Levinska with the serve to start things off. Levinska on the night, 8 kills, 5 digs, and a block. She sends it over. Snook and Tuaninga off her elbow, tried to angle it backwards, but no one was back, and the Sun Devils will take it.
Claire Jeter did her homework with the scouting team. She knows that Mia can go up there, and sometimes she'll set it, but also a lot of times she will dump it over, and she was right there for that block.
Great instincts. Tuaninga, this time to Miller, but blocked back. Off the hands of a couple Sun Devils, and Fields takes it.
I love that Ellie was able to hand set that ball because it got very close to the net, which some attackers can't get to. Skylar, though, is an athlete like we've never seen before, so she can get to those balls at an extremely efficient rate.
Now Miller. She's been so solid with the serve on the season, second on the team in aces, but not that time.
Both coaches, though, are okay with some service errors because they are so aggressive at the service line. And as a coach, you would rather have your team be more aggressive than just sit back and put easy balls over the net.
Now Cyr with the serve, off the hand of Cook. Fields somehow got it back in play, but just too much to ask for Thomas Nathan.
Rod Keller looked at her like, Skylar, we need you. We can't have you hurt out here. That was a very scary play with her running into that wall right there. Glad to see that she is okay.
Sun Devils get the point, up 3-1 now. Tuaninga dump. And that time, Habello couldn't do what Jeter did just a moment before.
When Mia is able to take that right hand and just simply put it behind her body on the other side of the court, it is one of the hardest balls to dig up. So if you're ASU, you have to have that next play focus mindset.
Tuaninga in her junior season, coming off an all-conference year. But that's just long. Another service error. That's the 8th for the Trojans tonight.
Now, Mia ended up coming into this season injured. So Brad has said that she has really had to try to find her groove, and that also comes with her serve. Slowly but surely, she is finding that rhythm, but it's not 100% there yet.
Came into the night with 41 service errors. Off the arm of Jeter and out of play. Nicely done right there from Kalia Williams.
That was a fantastic kill by Kalia on that play, and she's a product of Mizuno Volleyball Club, one of the best clubs in the entire country out of Long Beach, and I know this USC team loves their California girls. 13 of the 19 players are all from Southern California.
Why not? Local recruiting. Habello to Aninga. A tip from Smith. Schroll. Caitlin Smith again. Schroll with the dig. Habello a tip, and she puts it down. Great touch. Feathery finish from Habello.
I love how Roberta came in, and she went in with her regular 4-step approach, making it look like she was going to take a full arm swing, but right there, all she had to do was lightly, almost like a roll shot over the net.
Simply finding the hole. Doing a quick setup to Ariel. Schroll with the dig. Fields got it. And Fields with the free ball. Great effort right there from Williams. And it's just dumped down at the net. Nicely done by Ariel.
When you have an athlete like Ariel at the net, you cannot, as a middle blocker, tip the ball over because Ariel's going to be right there and block it. So you have to be crafty. If you are going to tip, you have to try to tip deep to the back ends of the court.
Now Trubin. Tip from Levinska. Right there was Miller. A back set, a back one from Shields, but it looks like she might have collided in the net.
That does look like it was a net violation. That was a very hard ball for Shannon to get. She had to run all the way from the right side of the court to the left side of the court, but that's a type of play you just have to move on to the next one.
Now 5-5 here. She'll try it again, Levinska. Williams all the way, but it's just wide. Oh, she almost had the location right there, Sammy. That was close.
That set was very off the net, so I don't blame Williams for trying to be crafty with that shot. So her set definitely needs to be closer to the net so she can get that full 3-step approach in.
Jillian Neal back in the game. A line drive serve. Fields corrals it. What a job by Caitlin Smith on the hammer.
Absolutely fantastic job by Smith of having a slow to fast approach. That means your first 2 steps are going to be almost like you're walking into the approach. Your last 2 is going to be what really electrifies your kill and puts some speed on that ball.
She's had her struggles here tonight, but that's her 5th kill. Cyr gets it over. Cook was there. Smith again. And she tools the block. Caitlin Smith, back-to-back points.
And I will always say it comes down to the defense because without USC's defense on the play, they wouldn't have been able to get that kill. I love how Snook took that ball so it allowed Fields to possibly be a candidate to be that offensive weapon in the back row.
Cromartie receives. Cyr. Great dig from Smith. From the backfields. And she's got it. Just with coming from the back, so much momentum, able to carry herself forward.
And that swing is called a pipe. So the pipe comes out of the middle back position. And when you have a huge hitter like Skylar Fields, you want to utilize her when she's not only front row, but back row as well.
3-0 scoring run for the Trojans. Cromartie goes low and gets it. And it's sent back. Levinska with a drive, but Miller says no.
That's hard because, yes, ASU's defense is not horrible, but it's not where it really needs to be because USC is really heating up on the service line. So it's making it way harder to create those strong service-y passes.
Snook once again. Over to Cyr, a tip, and that has worked so well for her tonight. Another kill for her, that's 5th on the night.
For Caitlin, you can't have that hesitation. She looked over at Ellie. You just have to go. When you're that off blocker, that is your ball. That middle of the area, almost that campfire spot that I talked about earlier, that is your ball if you're that outside.
Smith again, and she connects. Caitlin Smith, her 3rd kill of the 3rd set.
I want to see Meadow take a step up. That ball landed right in front of her, so it's always important as a defender to stay on the balls of your feet to be able to move forward, but also behind if you have an attacker that you feel usually hits to the corners of the court.
Cooper receives right there, the junior coming off the bench. This time a tip from Miller, and Cyr made contact with it, but out of play. They're making contact at the net, but it's just not falling for them.
Miller is so smart at the net. When she sees those high hands, she's going to use them. So as a blocker, you have to make sure you're there and do not leave any seams open.
11-7 now, the Trojans lead it. Cyr, it is a wall for the Trojans.
To be completely honest, I am very surprised with USC's blocking right now. I have not seen them block this well for the entire season. I know Brad Keller is extremely excited because coming into this match, that was definitely one of his points of emphasis to continue to work on.
That's Miller's 3rd block of the night, and poor serve receive. Point goes to the Trojans.
And this is what happens in the game of volleyball. When you're able to see your opponent in real time, you're able to block more effectively.
USC making a run, up 6 here on Pac-12 Insider. Back here in the 3rd set at Desert Financial Arena, Jonah Krell with Sammy Miller. And recently the Trojans have been hot at the net using a 4-0 scoring run to take a 6-point lead, and they have 9 blocks on the night. Slow goings early on, but they are getting it going at the net now. And one of those is Caitlin Smith. Recovered nicely by Trubin. Fields gets it down off a couple hands, but she puts the point down.
I want to see ASU's defenders use their hands more. Yes, of course, having a solid contact is very important, but when you're going up against a player like Skylar Fields, sometimes using your hands can be more effective.
USC dominating. A 5-0 run now. Jeter, and she finally puts a stop to it.
That is exactly what ASU needs right now, is to get the middles going. They're not finding too much success on the pins, so when that isn't working, you have to try out the middle.
That's Jeter's 7th kill now, just behind Levinska for the team lead. Fields wants another. Jeter is blocked down. Lindsay Miller again. That's her 4th block.
That was incredible by both Lindsay, but also Skylar's now coming in to help out the block. I saw that right hand be pushed right over to add as that extra support at the net.
Now a 15-8 lead for the Trojans. Neal receives. Tipped up and down. Geli Cyr, that tip play has been working well for her.
And on that last play, I saw Claire and Skylar look over at each other across the net and giggle because they actually know each other. So Claire is a fellow graduate of Ridgepoint High School in Texas, where Skylar Fields also went to. So they have some history together in Texas.
Absolutely, and Cyr gets the ace right there off the hands of Thomas Nathan. Couldn't receive it. Cyr again. That time, Thomas Nathan gets a handle. And a backhanded over the net from Fields. And a tip from Ariel. Levinska. And it just rolls over. And looks like Ariel did get the point there. It was tough to see for the moment, but Ariel got the kill, 16-10 USC.
Ariel is working so hard. It seems like she's everywhere on the court. She's working hard in transition, which is really allowing her to get so many sets because Mia is seeing her up and she's delivering with those balls.
Ariel now with 8 kills on the night. Shields goes all the way over, and Habello puts it in the soft spot.
Sometimes when your full swing isn't working, you have to get creative, utilize those tips and roll shots. Try to create some out of system on the USC side.
Back within 5 now. Claire Jeter ready to go. To Aninga. Fields. Give and go. Like clockwork, Sam.
I mean, there is a reason why Skylar Fields is one of the best attackers in the entire country. She goes up, and before you know it, the ball is already out of her hands on the other side of the court. And as a blocker, to try to be there in time and create that wall, it just makes your life that much more difficult.
JJ Van Niel emphasized a move it on kind of attitude, but it's tough when that just keeps on happening. But that time, Levinska gets the point off the hands of a Trojan right there. Right now, Sammy, what do you think their mindset is just with all these Skylar Fields kills right now? She's up to 16.
I think ASU is very good at compartmentalizing what they need to focus on. So, yes, of course, she is getting those kills, but for them, it's all about their own defense and their side of the court.
Ooh, and that just got down. A point right there from Ariel.
If I'm Shannon Shields, though, I want to feed my go-to offensive weapon, none other than Marta Levinksa. You have to start getting her going. She was hotter in the first set, but in the second and third, she has been cooling down a little bit.
18-12 now, USC. They'll try to get Levinska going. This time, Habello. They get it back. And Levinska, the Latvian, connects. Right on cue, Sammy.
Absolutely fantastic job by Levinska. And if you look at her face right now, she is locked in. When you see that face and you're a Sun Devil fan, that is a very good sign because that means that she wants the ball. A lot of times you'll even see her looking at Shannon saying, feed me, because she wants to be able to have that control.
Now double-digit kills for Levinska. She's got 10 on the night. The freshman Jillian Neal with the serve. A high arcing setup, and Smith is able to crush it down.
On that play, I want to see Mary Schroll take that ball. As libero, you are that main defender, back row. You need to be the main communicator, and also Schroll is the strongest passer on their team, so I would like to see her take that ball. Also, so Geli could get out in transition to try to attack.
Neal receives. Levinska. Tipped up. Smith again. What a recovery from Trubin. That time Schroll was there. Smith. Schroll with the dig. Cyr puts it down off the hands of Snook, and the Sun Devils get the point.
I love how Geli went with the line shot. Really all night long from both the Trojans and the Sun Devils, we've been seeing a lot of cross-body shots, but she's switching it up and really making sure that that right back spot is open.
Now Schroll, a line drive, and Snook receives. Oh, but that was too tough of a play for Lindsay Miller to make. A little sloppy there.
It's hard as a middle because in your mind, passing really isn't your first priority. It's getting there for the block. So once again, a play that you just have to move on from.
Smith blocked down. Levinska was right there. And now the Sun Devils starting to get going. They're back within 3.
Absolutely phenomenal job by Marta Levinska, pressing low and over the net for that block, and you can see she is fired up on that play.
Absolutely. It's a 3-0 run now. 3-0 run for the Sun Devils, and we'll go to a quick break here on Pac-12 Insider. Back here in the third set, a 3-point lead for the Trojans. And with more on USC's skill level, here's Alexis Davis.
Jonah, it doesn't seem like anyone in Desert Financial is surprised by the close sets, including ASU head coach JJ Van Niel. He says he's surprised that USC isn't ranked, and he has a close relationship with these kids, but at the end of the day, he said he wants to win, and he admits it's going to be a battle all the way to the final set. Back to you, Jonah.
A battle for sure, and the Trojans are winning it right now. Just great play at the net there. Block was by Smith and Miller, combining once again. Levinska got it.
That was the perfect set out to Marta. It was a little faster than usual, which is good because it's not allowing Skylar Fields to get there in time and fully penetrate over.
She's having a tough time just trying to weave it through the arms, but she gets it done there. 11 kills for Levinska. Smith on the slide. Back once more, that was Miller. And Schroll with the free ball. Fields just barely gets it past Jeter.
Absolutely phenomenal job by Mia of diversifying their offense. She's going behind for Lindsay with that slide, then in front of her to Skylar. It just makes it so much harder for ASU's defense to try to find a groove when they're seeing so many different hits coming their way.
The ultimate quarterback. Jeter, a missile. Claire Jeter showing off some power. That's now 8 kills. Sun Devils just stand nip and tuck here, trying to keep it close. Cyr with the serve, trying to close the deficit. Tuaninga tip, up and down, aerial again. Man, she is just finding those holes with ease.
That smile said it all. She saw that top left corner on ASU side was wide open, and she was able to just lightly put that ball over the net.
With the backhand, too. So much skill. A feathery finish. And now Tuaninga is ready to go. Taking a deep breath, taking her time. A pipe from Levinska. And a free ball over, but Thomas Nathan looks like it might have collided with Fields on the hands right there.
You have to clean up the communication. That just simply cannot happen if you're USC in a very tight set like this. You have to be able to say, I got it, and then go ahead and take it.
Again, they collide. Fields looked like she made contact with Thomas Nathan, wincing a little bit there. Again, poor serve receive, but she looks to shake it off now. Jeter floated it over. Fields. That found the line. It squeaked in. Levinska's not sure how it happened either.
Can we talk about Claire Jeter's pass, though? A middle blocker being able to set up that entire play, absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely, just found the hole in the corner. And the Sun Devils within one when we come back here on Pac-12 Insider. The Sun Devils have climbed back here in the third set, inching forward with a 3-0 scoring run. A ridiculous attack and kill from Marta Levinksa before the break. And now Jeter with the serve. Fields. From the back, Cyr, and that's down. They've tied it up.
Absolutely fantastic job from the Sun Devils. Their backs were against the wall in this set. They were really having to fight throughout the entire set against the Trojans, but look at them now. They have that grit, and it's really being showcased.
Trying to take the lead now. Off the slide and into the net. The Devils with the lead.
And you can feel the energy in Desert Financial Arena. They are so proud of these Sun Devils for fighting back in this third set.
2 points away from taking it now. Jeter, the hot hand, but just long. The third service error of the night for the Sun Devils, and it breaks a 5-0 run.
And with Skylar going back to serve, you know that she's going to be giving a very fast and low over the net ball. So if you're the defenders, you have to focus on having a very strong contact on serve receive.
A pivotal moment here in the third. Again long. And the crowd's starting to feel it.
A little jitters from Fields, perhaps.
And that's what happens when it comes to be a very tight end of a set. That's when you get a little anxious and those errors tend to happen more.
Shannon Shields, the grad setter. Aerial tip. A back set, Levinska. It's down! The Sun Devils take the third set. What a fight. What a comeback.
Absolutely incredible job. And who else would you want to do it other than Marta Levinska? The fact that she comes in when the lights are the brightest, she steps up. Amazing job by the Sun Devils in that third set.
That's Levinska's 13th kill tonight. ASU up 2-1, and we'll be right back for the fourth set here on Pac-12 Insider. Welcome back for the fourth set. The Sun Devils use a 6-1 run at the end to take it 25-23. Sammy, what led to that comeback?
Jonah, it was all about Shannon Shields. She was able to run ASU's offense so effectively. She went on the outside, the opposite for her middles. And as a setter, to be able to run your offense like that, it's going to lead to more kills. Like we see right there, 40 kills. Now USC also increased their offensive production with 46, but still, I really liked how ASU's defense converted over to their offense in that set.
And then how about the battle of the setters so far? Both Tuaninga and Shields, each with 31 kills on the night.
Absolutely incredible. For Mia, I am not surprised whatsoever. Ever since she was younger, she has had some incredible hands, and she's also able to think like an attacker. She used to be an attacker on the right and left side. So I think when you have it as a setter, you're able to really understand what your pin hitters are going through.
So now starting off set number 4, it's Thomas Nathan. Shields a quick setup to Jeter. Pancake dig from Trubin. And an overpass right there. Lindsey Miller takes advantage. So the Trojans get started off with a point. What do you think is going to, be the key difference maker here in the fourth?
I feel like a broken record, Jonah, but it's going to be their defense. Whoever puts up a strong pass is going to be the winner.
And right on cue, right? Not a great pass. And the Trojans take advantage.
right there. You can't even set up your offense at all. You can't even try to get a kill because if you don't have a solid pass, none of that is even possible.
They rule it a service ace for Danny Thomas-Nathan. Coming in, she had 5. And again, that's out of system. Levinska all the way back over. Cyr with the free ball. And a bomb right there from Lindsay Miller. The Trojans coming in hot. They're not messing around here in the 4th.
And I think a big reason why Brad Keller put in Danny is because of how strong her serve is. When you're going up against ASU, who has such a strong defense, you need to put in whoever your strongest server is.
Trojans with 3 aces on the night. They get another one. Thomas-Nathan, her second.
And it looks like there's going to be a challenge on that play from JJ Van Niel. He was very fast to challenge that call, but it could also serve as a point of maybe JJ just wants to talk to his team. You never know in volleyball. Now that they implemented the action of being able to challenge certain plays, some coaches uses it to their advantage.
So JJ wants to get a second look, but also just wants to have some words with his players. It's been a poor showing right out of the gates. One of his biggest things is obviously serve and pass, and they haven't been on their money to start this 4th set.
I really do think that JJ is talking it over with his team and saying that your communication on defense in that back row has to be more effective. Those type of errors when a ball just drops right in between 2 passers is simply not acceptable at this point. When you're in a 4th set against such a high-level team like USC, those errors can't happen. It really goes back to just playing in the Pac-12. Every single night, you have to come in bringing your A game because ASU is happy with where they are right now, but they want to continue to prove to the nation that this isn't a fluke. Their 15-1 start isn't something that's just crazy that's happening. No, they put in the work to make that happen.
And after review, it is an ace for Thomas-Nathan. So not quite sure what Van Niel saw right there, but ace for the Trojans. Up 4-0 now in the 4th set. All the momentum their way. Again, the serve-receive game struggling off the hands of Neal and too much for Shields to work with.
And that ball hit the antenna. So for those of you who don't know what an antenna is, it's the candy cane sticks that are on either side of the net, and it can't hit the antenna or go outside of it. Then the point will be given to the other team.
Interesting substitution as Estella Zadiska is in the game for the first time in the back row. And that'll be long from Thomas-Nathan. A couple aces, but then the error right there. What do you think of Zadiska coming into the game now?
I really do like that switch, and JJ has been known if he doesn't like how a passer is performing, he has a lot on the bench that he can go to. They are a very deep position in that defensive specialist spot. So if someone isn't executing, they know that they have 2, 3, 4 people that could come in. Also, it's just a different look. When you have such a tight match like this, you want to give USC different looks in the back row.
Levinska with the service error gives it right back to the Trojans. And they'll try to get back under control with Miller. And at the net, a collision, and Ariel couldn't get it across. Point goes for the Sun Devils.
You can slowly start to feel the momentum slightly shifting over to ASU, which is exactly what they need right now because in the beginning of the set, it was all USC.
Cyr records the kill. That's her 9th now. It was Snook. Shields all the way over. Habello. Schroll, too much to handle. And Ariel once again with the kill. She's now up to double digits.
Ariel can quite literally hit any type of set because of how athletic she is. It makes her that much more dangerous as a middle blocker.
She had 15 kills, a career high against number 17 Purdue earlier this season. But now this is just the second time she's in double digits. Tuaninga that time was long on the serve.
And those top spin serves are very challenging. When you have your toss be so high in the air, you have to make sure that you're getting solid contact, and you can't wait for it to go too far down.
Tuininga, back set. Habello winds up and fires. Thomas Nathan was there. And in the net it goes. Trojans not connecting now. Sun Devils within 3.
That set was just too low. That'll sometimes happen when you're trying to get aerial more involved. It's not going to be the perfect set every single time.
Now Jeter floats it up. Oh, and it's just beyond that right corner. Sun Devils so strong coming into this match with the serve. That's now their 5th error from the service line. Schroll gets it back in system. Williams. A little long, and the Sun Devils will take it.
It didn't appear that there was a touch on it, but it looks like Brad Keller will be challenging that call. He does believe that there was a touch on that block.
It was very, very close. Wondering if we might be able to get a replay here. Right now, call on the court is that it wasn't touched. An attack error at the moment for Williams.
It's so hard to be able to tell, especially with touches and when you know if the player is going to be touching the net as well. So there's so many different intangibles that come along with these calls. That's why it is so great that they are able to implement challenges in the game of volleyball.
It's just amazing the hard work, the job that referees have to do in real time, trying to see if that just skinned a finger.
And I'm looking over to USC's bench, and Brad said coming into this match, he said, Sammy, expect for the team to have some energy. And right now they are dancing, they are singing. He loves how close this team is. And no matter what, if they're up or they're down, they will always bring that energy.
And then on the opposite side, let's take a look at the Sun Devils. Alexis, what do you see?
During the last time out, Jonah, Van Neal was really telling his team to relax and to keep their composure. Yesterday, he also told media that the main key to this game is going to be the fact of if they are able to stay consistent or not and sticking to playing their game. And also, it's really similar to how Van Neal is as a coach. He's not going to be one of those coaches that runs up and down the sideline. He's either going to sit and keep his composure or pretty much stay in the same spot. So that's going to need to transfer over to his team, Jonah. Back to you.
Thanks, Alexis. After the review, the call was reversed. It goes down as a kill for Kalia Williams, her 7th of the night. And now JJ Van Neal wants to have words at the scorer's table. Looks frustrated as he's going back to his seat. And now a 9-4 lead for USC. In control to start things off in the 4th. A rainbow from Fields. It's pushed over Habello. Bump set. A back. Levinska. And a pipe shot. And it goes down for Ariel again. A quick setup from Tuininga. That is Tuininga's 34th assist of the night. And it's now a 3-0 run for the Trojans.
And Ariel's now hitting well over 400 for a middle blocker. Absolutely incredible.
An overpass. Ariel tried to take advantage. Way off the hands of Trubin. And a free ball from Smith. Shields couldn't get the dump. And then a free ball from the Trojans. Levinska a touch. Off the hands of Schroll. Couldn't corral it. And that's a point down for Williams.
Skylar Fields was fired up for her teammate Kalia. That ball is so hard to attack when it's such an out-of-system play and you're able to get a full arm swing, just showcases the athleticism.
Just absolutely torched from Williams. 11-4 lead for the Trojans here on Pac-12 Insider. Back here at Desert Financial Arena in the fourth set. Trojans cruising up 11-4. Welcome back, Jonah Krell here with Sammy Miller and Alexis Davis. Right now it's just been a team effort offensively. Yes, Skylar Fields is in command with the ball, but it's also Ariel and Williams and Smith all on display here. Now Cromartie, haven't seen her on attack so far. And a block down from Shania. How about that? Off the bench, JJ Van Niel makes an adjustment, and Cromartie connects.
That was exactly what Shania needed to do. When you're given the opportunity to go front row and immediately have a block, fantastic job.
The transfer from Mississippi State now making her presence felt. Doing a quick set and a bomb right there from Ariel. Ariel creeping up to that career high of 15 kills against Purdue. And that 15 kills against Purdue, that was on a 778 hitting percentage. She's hitting 450. I mean, these performances from the redshirt sophomore, ridiculous.
And it shows you what happens when you put in the work. She has not taken any shortcuts. Absolutely phenomenal.
Trubin serves it away. Shields tips it back. And a tip over. Levinska. I mean, how did that work? Shields just lightly tapped it behind her, and Levinska got it over the outstretched arms. A rainbow right over Smith. And that is Levinska's 14th kill. Now Jillian Neal. A back set, a bomb. Schroll with the overpass. This one lightly tapped by Williams. Cyr into the back, a diving play. Fields keeps it alive. And that's long from Smith. Great effort on both sides, but the Sun Devils get the point.
And when you have those long rallies, it really showcases both teams' discipline because they're taking care of each contact.
Neal once again. An overpass, and that's wide. Skylar Fields couldn't corral it. And an ace from Jillian Neal off the bench. The freshman.
How about this? A freshman making such a big impact in a huge match against USC.
I mean, so well balanced these two teams are, and it's about those outliers who can step up. Neal has done that so far. Williams times up her steps, and a little miscommunication between Shields and Levinska there.
And going back to Neal, I think it's so important to note that during non-conference, she never stepped foot on the court. But that's the special thing about Neal, is that she was able to really trust the process and know that if she showed up to practice every single day, that good things would happen. And look at her now.
Now that's Zadiska coming off the bench. McLaughlin back in as well. Cyr, cross court, what a dive. And over the top, great touch from Tuininga. I mean, that is killer.
And Caitlin Smith,
yes.
That diving effort to the left side, that ball was so far out of the way, but Caitlin Smith is long and she is lengthy. So those balls, she's able to just get that arm out and try to get some contact somehow, some way.
6'3" junior, putting it all on display. Shields, a back tap. Oh, and a pipe, but it's wide. You don't see that much from the back row from Fields, missing it right there.
If you're Brad Keller, though, that is an error that you are more than happy to have, because she is coming in with such a high velocity back row, something you really do not see a whole lot.
Sun Devils down 5. Schroll, way too long right there. Airmails it. Gives it right back to the Trojans.
Something I love about Mary is that no matter what, she's always going to stay very cool, calm, and collected. Never too high or never too low, which is a very important characteristic in a libero.
She's definitely come in and delivered as a transfer. Levinska just a little wide there. Tried to find her spot, but couldn't do it. Right now, Trojans just executing a little bit better. They're up 16-9 here in the fourth set, and a timeout by the Sun Devils. We'll be right back here on Pac-12 Insider. It's a commanding lead for the Trojans here in the fourth set. And Sammy, I mean, we still got a lot of more play to have here, but it just seems destined for 5.
For ASU right now, yes, of course, you want to fight back into this set to try to win in 4, but the biggest thing for them is they need to try to get some sort of momentum heading into that possible 5th set, because the last thing you want in volleyball is to head into the 5th set with no momentum, because it's hard. Your backs are already against the wall. So right here, right now, 16-9, you have to start stringing along some plays to get your offense moving and grooving.
It has just been dominated by the Trojans, and you speak about that offense for the Sun Devils, just hitting 243. They've shown, actually no, 062 here in the fourth set, even worse. So they really have to pick up the play here in this fourth if they want a shot. Zadiska receives. Jeter, hello. Claire Jeter once again makes her presence felt right off the timeout.
As a former middle blocker, I know how challenging that gap is. You have to have perfect timing, and Claire made it look so easy. She had her chest wide open to Shannon. She was able to get that right arm back and swing away on that ball.
A consistent option in the middle. It's tipped up, and oh, Jeter thought she had it. JJ Van Niel's not going to check on it. That's going to be a point for the Trojans. Just barely missed.
Claire was not happy with that call. Let's just say that.
Definitely not. 17-10 now. Lindsay Miller On line drive, an overpass, joust at the net. Play continuing for the moment, no. It's a violation. They held up their hand. It looks like a two-hand touch violation. And the point goes for the Sun Devils there. Referees checking on it. Brad Keller having some words. And Cyr just waiting and waiting.
Shannon was very happy on that play. That smile, she just went up there. And when you're having a joust, you always want to be the second person that has contact on that play because you'll have more of the power instead of being that first contact.
It's just a battle right there at the net. Who's got more force? And Shields came away with it. At the top, tipped up from Cromartie. Trojans back with it. Fields, come on now. Down the line. Perfect precision.
And that line is wide open for the taking. Not a lot of players have utilized it. So if that set is there and she's able to go in with a cross approach and then be able to torque her entire body to that side, might as well do it all day, every day.
18 kills for Fields. A back set, a tip up from Williams. Levinska can't get there in time. They're just finding the soft spots, the holes in this defense right now.
I would like to see Shannon take that ball with her hands because Mary is so trusted with taking that second ball. If Shannon's able to take it, then Marta would have been able to possibly hit it from the back row.
Now to Aninga. They set it up, Cromartie. But too strong, no, it didn't go off any Trojans. And another point for USC, just a little too strong there.
I liked the aggressiveness on that play, but she needs to make sure she's snapping her wrist inside of the core. It's going to be essential to her success.
Off the antenna from Tuaninga. She's had some troubles with her serves this season, and that breaks a 3-0 run.
That's the exact type of stop that ASU needs. And of course, it wasn't earned by them, but hey, a point is a point at this point in the set.
Jeter. Oh, Levinska. Frustrated. She had it for a moment, but that is a perfect place kill right there.
On that play, I really want to see that scoop defense. When you have a ball coming so hard at you, all you really have to do is just have your hands wide open in front of you, and somehow there will make some contact, at least to pop the ball straight up. It doesn't have to be a perfect pass to Shannon, but at least get the ball up.
That was Ariel showing off the force. Levinska, that time she's got it. A laser.
I think there was a little extra added motivation on that play after she got that kill on that one.
Definitely wanted to play back the previous play. And Levinska now with 15 kills on the night. Smith with the tip. Shields is there with the dig. And now Levinska again. Free ball's over. Schroll, Levinska again. A dive from Snook. Pancake. They get it over. Unreal. And they get the points. Ridiculous. Trubin. Are you kidding me?
Fantastic job by Trubin on that play. There's a reason why last year she was on the all Pac-12 freshman team. I mean, look at that play. It's just so much athleticism.
Tuaninga had the pancake and Trubin just swatted it over.
Trubin this now with a bump set. In the back is Schroll. Gets it down. Maddie McLaughlin coming off the bench and putting down a kill. That's her fourth.
I really want to see Shannon utilize Maddie more. She's been a little quiet in this match, and Maddie has an arm on her, so I want to see them feed the beast in the middle.
Came into the match with 67 kills. Now over 70 on the season. Smith Blocked down, but on the Sun Devils side. Levinska just couldn't corral that one over.
On that play, I want to see both Maddie and Marta press low and over the net. They're both so tall and so athletic. Their heads should almost be crossing the path of the net to try to create as big of a wall as possible with all four of their hands.
The Trojans closing in on 5. Here's Snook. Shields, a high arcing set up to Cyr. And she's got the kill.
That is exactly what I mean with this ASU team. They're comfortable with out-of-system plays. They know that they are always thinking of trying to down ball first instead of free balling it over, because you never want to give a free ball over to the Trojans.
Cyr now with 10 kills. Up top on the slide, recovered nicely. Smith over the top. Schroll, a save, an overpass, and the Trojans take the point.
On both sides of the court, those sets were way too close to the net. The hitters barely had any room to go. Of course, a lot of the pins do like the ball pretty tight to the net, but not that tight. It leaves them kind of in a position where they're almost having to hit the net in a way.
It's a kill from Smith. She now has the serve on set point. It's low. Zadiska with the save. Cyr up top. That was Snook. And now Fields. A tip. They get it back. Cyr again. But it's long. And the Trojans take the 4th set with command. 25-15. I mean, that was dominance. And we'll go to a 5th, neck and neck here at Desert Financial Arena on Pac-12 Insider. It's do or die here in the 5th at Desert Financial Arena. Jonah Krell with Sammy Miller and Alexis Davis. And as we get set to go for the 5th set, let's go back to where we started, Sammy, with Marta Levinska and Skylar Fields. Fields with 18 kills, Levinska with 15. Who wants it more, right?
Jonah, All season long, it has been the Marta Levinska show for ASU and the Skylar Field show for USC. And right here, right now, they have to show up for their team because it's the biggest of moments. It's a fifth set, and it's always your star go-to offensive weapon that has to come alive. And we have seen time and time again, Marta Levinska. Obviously, this year they've only had one five-setter, but the past 3 seasons at ASU, Marta Levinska is no stranger to fifth sets. And 9 times out of 10, she comes out. She puts the team basically on her shoulders, and she says, hey, I'm going to do everything on both sides of the court. In a fifth set, you have just below 400. So for her, she really has those 2 options. If I'm Shannon Shields, she has shown that she can hit very effectively back row and also front row. So when Shannon's front row, she doesn't have to worry about, hey, I don't see Marta. No, Marta's right there and she can put balls down.
We talk about the big names, but the Trojans have 3 in double-digit kills. It's been a team effort, and Jillian Neal starts us off. Fields, and right on cue, she starts us off with a kill.
Jonah, it's like we knew. We had those spider senses that Mia was going to go to Skylar, but great job by Skylar Fields of really setting the tone early on for the Trojans.
The Trojans hit 314 in the 4th compared to the Sun Devils 069. Will that play out here in the 5th? That's a service error for Lindsay Miller. That is the 13th error of the ball game.
And even though I wasn't in the huddle for ASU leading up to this 5th set, you can just tell that their energy, I can only imagine that they were emphasizing that after every single point, win or lose, you have to have that high energy.
13 service errors to the Sun Devils 6. Thomas Nathan gets it back in system. Shields, a back set. Levinska, right there. Fires up the crowd.
The southpaw from Latvia, when she gets fired up, Desert Financial Arena gets fired up. It's been this way since she's been a freshman. Now as a senior, it's just incredible to see her maturation.
A quiet 4th, and will that set the tone for the 5th? Tuaninga to Fields. Off the hands of Jeter and Levinska, and again, Fields making her presence felt.
She just jumps so high that she's able to hit those high hand off the block every single time. If she's not doing that, then she's finding the seam and bouncing balls.
She's up to 20 kills now. Again, this 5th set, a reminder, goes to 15 points. So every point matters. Thomas Nathan with the dive. Levinska, right there was Williams to recover. Fields again. How do you stop that?
Honestly, you don't stop a player like Skylar Fields. You try to contain her as best as possible. ASU has been doing a pretty solid job so far, but in this 5th set, they have to have that block be as close and tight as possible.
She's on a roll to start the 5th. Jeter. Tipped up high. Fields again. Trubin. Again to Fields. She's feeling it. Skylar Fields, 4 kills. All 4 of the points here in the 5th.
Fields is looking inside her toolbox, and she is taking out every single swing that she has. She has the line, the crossbody, the sharp angle, all of it.
Cyr. A sea of Trojans. She somehow gets it through.
Geli is definitely one player that I really want to step up in this set. Be that strong offensive player at the net. We know that she's so effective in the back row, but right now the Sun Devils need her in the front.
Back within 1. Tipped up. Oh. And it looked like some miscommunication with Ariel there. Just tough to handle.
I think Ariel thought that ball was going to be way shorter. It was just going to be a pop-up for a 1 so she can go up and quick slam it down. Of course, that wasn't the case.
The errors once again for the Trojans, bringing the Sun Devils back in it. And Jeter, the block.
And beautiful textbook block from Claire Jeter. As a middle blocker, when you're seeing Ariel come in from the left side, you want to reach low and over your body, exactly what she did on that play.
Now a 3-0 run for the Sun Devils gives them the lead. Up top, Williams, saved by Shields. Cyr, free ball. Fields again. Levinska sets it up. Cyr. And Schroll can't corral it. Skylar Fields again.
Absolutely incredible job by Mia of setting such a fast offense. It's making Claire Jeter's life so difficult because she's having to go from pin to pin so fast, and it's leaving that little bit of a seam in between the block. And Skylar Fields and Kalia Williams is really taking advantage of that.
Tuaninga now with 43 assists. She had 45 last week, but it's long on the service from Fields. A gift right back to the Sun Devils.
As a coach, you do not like service errors in the fifth set. Of course, you want your team to remain aggressive, but those type of errors really are not acceptable in a game that only goes to 15 points.
Service errors, they've been a problem here tonight. And an ace! Geli Cyr. It's bumping here in DFA.
Geli Cyr still stays so calm. Her face never really changes, which I think is something so special about her, because no matter how much pressure is put on her, she remains that calm player.
Composed and collected, she sends it away. Smith over the arms, but out.
And now we're seeing both sides switch. So in the fifth set, when you get to 8, you're going to switch sides just so it makes it easier. Some teams like a certain side compared to others. It just evens out the playing field.
An 8-5 lead for the Sun Devils. What has been working so well to give them this lead? Or has it been the Trojans, errors themselves?
I think it's a combination of both, Jonah. I think ASU's offense has really been picking it up in this set, but also it's USC's errors. You cannot be making these careless errors.
Right now, hitting 259 are the Trojans compared to 189 for the Sun Devils, but they are taking advantage when they have the opportunity to. And those service errors, really, if USC ends up losing this match, they're going to look back at that number, 14 service errors compared to the Sun Devils 6, right?
And also coming into this match, both JJ and Brad said they admitted that they know each other's teams very well. So it's no surprise that it's in a fifth set and it's 8-5, because coming into it, Brad knows what works well for USC and ASU as well.
So a break here in the action on Pac-12 Insider. ASU up 3. We'll be right back. Right there was Verbeest. Up high to Smith. Jeter again. Claire Jeter in the middle. It's her 5th.
I love how Shannon is utilizing Claire. Claire is such a beast at the net, and when you're able to utilize her so effectively and give USC a different look, it is going to work, and it just worked on that play.
Jeter coming up big. It's not just Levinska. All the way over to Aninga. Thomas Nathan up in the air. Shields recovers. Habello back in the game. Schroll lines it up. Habello in the back row. Verbeest again. Thomas Nathan a drive, and she puts it down in the back row.
Danny really needed that type of play. She's been extremely quiet all night long, so a type of kill like that is enough to give her that much-needed confidence boost.
And her first kill of the match comes at a perfect time, brings the Trojans within 3. Back with the serve, Trubin. Habello, great save from Fields on the dive. From the pin, blocked down. It was Williams. No, it was a point for the Sun Devils, excuse me. It looked like the block might have went out of play.
It looks like the ball was out of play, but it didn't look like ASU touched it. It does look like Brad Keller will be challenging the ball.
Very close. Brad Keller wants to challenge. What do you think here, Sammy? That might have touched the line.
It looks like Lindsay Miller's hand, of course, touched that ball on the block, but it does look like that ball went outside of the lines. A very close call, though, but especially in a fifth set like this, every single point matters so much. So it does not surprise me whatsoever that Brad wanted to challenge this ball. And like we said before, it also gives both coaches a chance to be able to talk over their game plan with their team.
Absolutely. Review still taking place, but both teams huddling. JJ Van Niel and Presley Anderson talking things over for the Sun Devils.
And right now, if you are ASU's coaching staff and USC's coaching staff, you want to emphasize to your players to not let this moment get too big. You want to take your breath when you're at the service line and really think back to what got you here. And in practice, both teams are very strong at serving. So when you're going, you want to be that strong serving team.
And the call stands. Point goes to the Sun Devils. 5 away from taking this match. Look at that, 67 kills for USC compared to ASU's 50. But they are still in front here. From the back, Fields. It's wide. Skylar Fields, she connected early on in this fifth set, but not that time. And a timeout for the Trojans. ASU up 11-6 here on Pac-12 Insider. Back here at Desert Financial Arena, ASU 4 points away from taking the fifth. They lead at 11-6, a tight back and forth match between the Trojans and the Sun Devils. Claire Jeter ready to go. She sends it away. A tip up and over. And it looked like a violation from Tuaninga.
And Roberta Havello has a smile from ear to ear. I said before that Marta Levinska gets fired up in a fifth set. Roberta is the same exact way.
The Sun Devils can start to feel it. Jeter up and over. Thomas Nathan a dive to keep it alive. It's pushed over from Williams, and they get the point.
I love that choice by Williams. That set wasn't exactly there, so she saw that line shot was wide open, the deep corner. There's a reason why they always say it's the deadly corners of the court, because they are so hard to get up.
So they get the side out, and now Snook with the serve. Back to Levinska, over the top, and down! Somehow that got through.
Marta and Maddie, these two are best friends, and they both look at each other, share a giggle, because they both know that wasn't really necessarily the game plan, but hey, a point's a point.
Absolutely. Over the top of two arms. 3 Trojans got a piece of it. Tuaninga, stellar. Easy dump. Takes advantage. I mean, that's just craftiness at its finest.
There's a reason why she is one of the best setters in the entire country. She's able to lead this USC team to so much success, match after match.
Trojans hanging in it. Shields up top. Levinska tipped over again. Pancake Trubin, but it goes the Sun Devils' way. And it's match point.
Jonah, what did we say? Marta Levinska needed to show up. What is she doing? She is showing up in the biggest of moments. Desert Financial Arena is on their feet.
The Sun Devils have lost 5 straight matches to the Trojans. They're a point away from breaking it. I mean, this is such a big game, big match, because JJ Van Niel talked about they felt like they were the underdogs coming into this one, but they have played with confidence after up and down play throughout. They're showing it off here in this fifth.
And Jonah, JJ also admitted that it's always going to mean a little bit more when they play against USC. He not only coached the Trojans, but he also went to school there. He also played some college ice hockey there. So he does have a little piece of that USC blood in him, but right here, right now, it's all Sun Devil in his body. And he could be a point away from getting a huge Pac-12 victory over the Trojans.
It definitely means more. I mean, and after review, we didn't see that was being challenged. But the call stands. It is a point for Levinska. We thought it was no doubt. But regardless, it's match point. And now Jillian Neal is ready to go, the freshman, in a big spot. Everyone on their feet. Thomas Nathan receives. Up top Fields, they go to her, and in the corner, she delivers.
That play is going to happen. It's Skylar Fields. There's a reason why she is Skylar Fields, and she is so talented. But here's the thing. They are still up 14-9, and right here, all they have to focus on is a solid serve-receive contact so that Shannon can set up their offense.
Estella Zadiska now in the game for some defense. Zadiska receives. Over the top, Cyr. Tipped up, Fields out of system. They free ball it over. Levinska, a touch, and down!
The Sun Devils were able to complete the huge 5-set victory over the USC Trojans. ASU, the 23rd ranked team in the country, does it again.
USC falls. A ferocious effort here in the fifth from the Sun Devils. They break a 5-match losing streak to the Trojans. JJ Van Niel, this feels extra special. He gets it done against his former squad.
The energy in here, Jonah, is unreal. The first match of the season at Desert Financial Arena. And look at this team. ASU is all smiles. I cannot say enough about ASU. And you look over JJ Van Neal, he's even hugging the USC players. They have so much love for each other, so much respect, but let's give it up for these Sun Devils.
Absolutely, they take it in the 5th, and we'll be right back with more for a post-game interview here on Pac-12 Insider.
Back here at DFA to wrap this one up. Jonah Krell here with Sammy Miller. The Sun Devils take it in 5. They break a 5-match losing streak to the Trojans. Sammy, they hit 4-12 in that 5th set to take it 15-9. What an effort.
Jonah, I said that the Sun Devils needed Marta Levinksa, and she showed up. Shannon Shields did a phenomenal job of utilizing her from really the beginning of the 5th set to the end.
And the heavy hitter throughout it all was Marta Levinksa, ends up with 19 kills. And our sideline reporter, Alexis Davis, has her with more.
Marta, first, congratulations on the win. You all were able to go to 5 sets. What do you think that says about your team's endurance?
Yeah, I think I'm really proud of how we fought back. We were down a lot in this game, but we just kept fighting and kept communicating. I think when we picked up the communication, that's when we were doing really well. So I'm super proud of that. We were able to do.
You've been able to get a lot of reps with your national team. How do you think that helps you with the Pac-12 stage?
Oh yeah, national team is great, especially in the summer when I'm back home. I get to practice with girls and women that are great players. So yeah, it has just, I think maybe definitely into a better player coming into Pac-12.
At these games, there's a lot of young girls, and ASU overall just really supports women's sports. What does it mean to you to be able to play in a community that time and time again supports you to the fullest?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super proud to be a Sun Devil. I think our program and coaches and just people all over, like, they just do so much for us, and I'm so grateful. Super proud of us and the community we've built and how much it has improved in these past few years. So, yeah, super proud.
Last question for you. You guys are off to the best start since 2015. What do you think your team is going to need to do in order to really make it out to the home stretch?
Yeah, I think consistency. I think in these last few weeks we've been a little up and down, and we pulled through in the end, but we've been close. So I think just being consistent, being confident in ourselves, playing our game, I think that's what's going to help us.
Congratulations again. Back to you, Jonah.
Great stuff, Alexis. Marta Levinksa finishes up with 19 kills. What an effort for her. But overall, 3 Sun Devils in triple-digit kills. 3 Sun Devils with double-digit kills. And
Trojans put up a fight as well as we look at the final stats.
Fantastic job by ASU of sticking to their brand of volleyball. They always say that they want to make sure that they have a strong first line of defense, which comes down to their serve. That did that with 8 service errors. So, of course, JJ would like to kind of alleviate that, but at the same time, they're coming out and they're being so aggressive on the defensive side and the offensive side as well. And I just cannot say enough about Shannon Shields. She has stepped into this role so well, 43 assists on the night. And of course, Mia did a phenomenal job as well for USC with 45, but both setters were able to run their offense with so much poise.
But look at the errors. I mean, was that really the difference tonight? 40-27.
It 100% was, Jonah. Brad usually likes to have a cleaner offense and defense. Tonight, it was a different story. They did have more errors than they would like to, especially in that 5th set. The 5th set has to be your cleanest. That just wasn't the case for the Trojans.
Absolutely, and the Sun Devils were able to take advantage and prevail. The final score, 3-2. Our next ASU live stream and volleyball live stream will be Sunday, October 8th, when the Sun Devils return to Mullet Arena to take on UCLA right here on ASU live stream run. That game will start at 1 p.m., and that'll do it for us here at Desert Financial Arena. For the stream team, production, staff, and crew, and for Alexis Davis and Sammy Miller, I'm Jonah Krell signing off from Tempe. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.